Hi everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a quick look here at Cardano. I get a lot of requests for this one. We figure we'll go ahead and put this on our radar for a little while. There's some important things we want to talk about, so make sure you stick through to the end, such as this double bottom and rising wedge pattern. One's bullish, one's bearish. We're going to talk a little bit about the difference there and obviously understand how the liquidity here recently has been swept and what might happen next here with Elliott Wave. Some awesome stuff. So be sure to check that out. And if you are part of our community, once again, thank you so much for the excellent feedback. I love the levity here. I got a really good group of folks here. Be sure to check that out if you can. Links down below, of course. If you are part of our premium group, congrats on our significant profits here. SUI, ENJ, BSV. A couple of those are shorts, but most of them are longs here. We got a Bake long, we got an ID long, ICP long, Gala long. It just kind of goes on, right? So awesome stuff there. Greatly appreciate the wonderful feedback. Well done and congrats. If you guys want to be part of that Signal group, link down below. It does include part of my trading academy and my community, my private group there. Okay, so be sure to check that out. So let's talk a little bit about the daily here first and work our way down. First of all, to clarify, we are seeing somewhat of an Elliott Wave pattern here. And if the price does end up pulling back, we could very well see these lower Fibonacci levels here, 0.32, 382, 0.5 retested. You do got to recognize here, let's go ahead and touch about this here. Touch on this, talk about it, whatever you want. We're at a 9+1 on TD sequential. A couple of other coins are exuding this behavior as well. It doesn't mean it's going to necessarily just pull right back, but we are coming up right against this 200-day SMA. It's a common characteristic for retracement. Okay, so just bear in mind we could very well be at the top, and if so, these levels here might be more likely to expect when the price were to pull back. Okay, so again, just something to kind of think about there and keep in the forefront of your mind when you're trading this coin. We are overextended on the daily as well, which doesn't necessarily matter a lot when coins are going crazy like this, but it does help to understand that we are getting closer to that overextended state, okay, in a lot of different ways. But I'm a little more concerned about the 200-day SMA where that price action may reject out. Furthermore, if you take a look at the 4-hour time frame, this is where things kind of get interesting here. In other words, the liquidity here recently has been swept. Okay, so we swept that liquidity. It's really common for the price to retest that level, to break it, and sometimes use that as a support. I like to emphasize the word sometimes because right here at about 30 cents, it could be the new support. We just don't know yet. We still got to wait a little bit of time to figure that out. Okay, so again, try not to get too hasty with your shorts or your longs just yet, but it does look like we're leaning a little bit more towards the price pulling back. Now, if it were to pull back, just say we could very well see the price come down to this range here between 28.8 upwards of 29.5. Okay, so a few different things, a few different scenarios there. But generally speaking, the price action is looking pretty healthy here. This is a nice continuation pattern. You see this up over with periods of consolidation. That's healthy. Okay, so just note that a significant drop is going to be unwarranted unless Bitcoin drops until 30,000 or lower, right? So we should experience some good continuation here from ADA. You take a look at this coin versus Bitcoin, you can see Bitcoin's been range bound with a large pump. ADA did pump, but it's also continuously increasing from here. It's running concurrent with the moving averages too. You can see we're up over the 20-day SMA and we're maintaining above the 50. So there's a good chance we're going to be able to continue to hold this level. So just keep in mind, if we do end up losing this, we could very well see the price action pull back if we lose either of these two moving averages. The 20 is one thing, but if you lose the 20 and the 50, then the price is more likely to to correct itself. Okay, just some ideas, schools of thought, if you will, things to help you understand. Just important to look at certain things, right? Because everyone's risk tolerance is different, and depending on how you trade, long versus short, or longer time frames versus shorter time frames, a lot of different strategies. But if you look at everything, kind of work your way down from the top, it really helps you get better perspective on where you're at with things. Last but not least, let's take a quick look at the Ichimoku cloud. We're above the cloud. Lagging span is now intersecting with the price action, so that kind of implies that if you have a long position open, you should have taken profits by now. The conversion line is barely above the baseline. So to me, taking a long right now seems kind of risky. If you're going to insist on trading this coin, maybe consider a spot, adding to your spot, and don't go all in at once, right? Low position size, low leverage, that's what we do with our other trades. 105% on Gala and just say, it was 25 days. That could have been, a lot larger if you use larger leverage, but it could have been a larger loss too if we had to hit our stop loss, right? Different ways you want to trade, right? But again, I'm a little bit more conservative myself. I try not to go super risky. If you're following folks out there that are super risky, be careful with who you watch and who you listen to, take your advice from. There's a great chance they're not posting their bad trades. Speaking of which, we did take a loss here. It's completely normal, by the way. We took a Solana short and hit our stop loss. That's completely normal, but it's offset with a lot of these other massive gains that are averaging yourself out above, above green, if you will, well above water. Right? So again, little things you want to kind of look at. Either way, thanks again so much for joining me here. I'm going to post our playout chart here on our Discord, Telegram, and Twitter. Links down below for that if you're curious. Playout charts kind of look like this, where I just kind of give you perspective on what I've reviewed and help keep you abreast on certain scenarios. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.